What's good, Josh? Your man, BS Saint. Welcome. I really want to know podcast, man. Hope you guys are doing all right out there. I know I've been spotty. I haven't been hitting every single day live, but I have been I've been putting up, content, talking about stuff, posting it. I've been doing shorts. Shout out to Cody is King. He's been on me like, bro, you got to do more shorts. And I'm like, you're right. You're right, bro. So I'm working on that as well. It's it's hurricane season down here in the state of Florida, bro. Like for all of the East Coast, Southeast, especially, it's hurricane season. I'm just getting started, and boy, oh boy, is it off to a hellacious beginning. Let's get into it. And we are live. What's good, y'all? Welcome to the I Really Want to Know podcast, y'all. Get some indeed, bro. It is crazy down here. Brother Dinosaur's in the building. What's good, fam? It's like, damn, DL. Are you swimming? Tampa and Miami hit hard with 2 more days with rain forecast. Bro, South Florida's getting pummeled. I'm in Central Florida. It just started raining. I'm looking outside. It's less than a quarter mile visibility. The ceiling is at the ground. It's an indefinite ceiling for those people in the aviation business. And it's moderate rain. It's moderate rain. It's not quite heavy, but we got some thunders. We got some thunderstorms. You know what I mean? I haven't seen any lightning. I'm just kind of looking out the window now, right? So, man, it's bad. Sarasota's getting hit pretty hard with the flooding and all that, flash floods. Miami, Dade, and Broward County are just suffering right now, man. They're absolutely suffering. And this is it. This is life in Florida, especially South Florida. This is what it looks like. But man, listen, you guys know I've been here since 2020. And once I started this podcast a little bit after that. And I've been talking about weather. I've been talking about the insurance industry, right? Bro. No one's talking about it, right? So we're going to talk about it tonight, this evening. I mean, we're nobody, but this is what people need to be looking into. These are the questions that people need answered, because this is where the rubber meets the road. This is what's going to hurt people more than anything. You look at what's going on with our economy. You look at what's going on with the commercial real estate market. You look at what's going on with the residential real estate market. What's the big problem here in Florida right now? It's insurance costs for homeowners insurance, especially for condos. And I'm going to throw townhomes in there as well. So all this stuff is adding up. And we're going from a El Nino to a La Nina, event. What does that mean? I'm not a weather guy, but my brother Rook is, and Rook told me weeks ago that this was coming. He was like, bro, this is going to be a hellacious hurricane season. As always, he was spot on. And the hurricanes didn't even got here yet, y'all. It is crazy. Brother Dino wants to know if the airport's still open. To my knowledge, yes, but I don't know what the weather is doing in Miami right now. I'm in Central Florida. Miami's all the way down at the bottom. I worked in Miami for 3 years, roughly, and I know how the weather affects, the airspace in Miami. So, bro, it's an issue. Miami and Fort Lauderdale, especially those being the 2 major international airports in Southern Florida. I know both experienced heavy delays, which of course that's going to back up air traffic across the country. And the thing about Miami and Fort Lauderdale, they're so close. I mean, you can literally see one airport from the other. Like when I was at work on, board, I would get binoculars and I can see the tower at Fort Lauderdale. You have to know where to look because the towers are so tall. And, and South Florida is so flat, but that's how close they are. So a lot of people, when they have to divert, they wanted to divert from Miami to Lauderdale or vice versa. But when they both shut down, they got to go like as far north as Palm Beach, maybe even further north. So it's, you got to make decisions pretty quick in the ATC world when you're dealing with Southern Florida. Um, and like right now, I'm looking out. The rain is now more. It's heavy. It's heavy, bordering on severe. Looks like the cell is pushing through, and I can see the increased intensity. I can see the trees blowing, so we got a little bit of wind there. Probably got some microbursts and stuff like that. To a lot of wind shear. This is really bad for flying, right? Really bad for flying. So if this cell that I'm looking at right here in Tampa, if this cell were pushing through Miami airspace, Miami airport airspace, the airport would be shut down right now. Planes would not land. They will just be out there in holding patterns, and they're just trying to figure out what they're going to do. No one would depart into this. You have, they have all kind of technology that tells the air traffic controllers and the pilots about wind shear and microbursts and all that, which are absolutely lethal to airplanes. So, the answer to your question, is Miami open? I don't know. I would either have to pull up the active radar, weather radar, what's going on in Miami. I would have to read what the weather reports are. Or I could just call up some of my buddies who are working. And y'all, I don't know if you guys heard that little tick that went through. Now we got lightning. So we have this is severe weather right now pushing through Tampa. This is heavy. This is borderline extreme. We got the lightning now, and yeah, man, this was nasty. And the Tampa airport is just 10-minute drive from where I'm sitting right now. If this cell is, well, the cell doesn't even have to be over the airport. This is pretty bad. So I would imagine right now that the Tampa airport will be shut down right now. Just looking at this storm that I'm looking at right now, it's like someone is just dumping barrels of water on the window, bro. So it's crazy. Anyway, let me get off of that. So yeah, is Miami airport open? Depends on what the weather is. If the weather is exactly like what I'm looking at here, if it's exactly like that in Miami or Fort Lauderdale, both those airports will be closed. And then Brother Dino's like, as DeSantis, he's been extra quiet. Yeah, he's quiet because I think DeSantis probably realized he's in trouble. The state is in trouble. I don't know if the state is prepared for this. I'm going to go out on a limb and say the state is not prepared for this. DeSantis hasn't been worrying about this. He's, before he was worrying about getting into the White House, that fell apart on him. He's still trying to support the Republican Party, the National Republican, the RNC, the Republican National Convention, and all that kind of stuff, or whatever. Sorry, y'all. Committee. So he's worried about politics, not necessarily worried about the people of Florida. He has declared a state of emergency in, various counties. I know that Dade and Broward counties are included in that. I don't think that Hillsborough County is included in that, or some of the other surrounding counties up here in Central Florida, but maybe. I know Sarasota is. I would imagine Sarasota is because they got hit really hard with these floods. So, like Cody's in the building. What's good, fam? It's like weather wars, bro. Hey, man. Florida has an issue. And, I was kind of going to save this part of the conversation for later, but we can have it right now. If you're in charge, right, if you're part of the administration here, if you're part of government in Florida, right, you need to be looking at contingencies for folks. You need to be looking at emergency funds for people, which they declared state of emergency. So that opens up federal funds, which they're going to need. We're going to watch some videos. You're going to see how much damage was done over the past 4 days, just in Dade and Broward counties. That's Miami and Fort Lauderdale area. They haven't really been talking about Sarasota. Haven't been talking about Fort Myers. We haven't been talking about the rest of the state, right? And this is just rain. We haven't been talking about high winds, although I was just looking at some pretty high winds a second ago. We haven't been talking about high winds. We haven't been talking about, cyclones and tornadoes and hurricanes, right, which are coming. This is just, rain events. And you're going to see. So there's a really good chance that this stream will get shut down due to lightning strikes, because I've seen just a couple more lightning strikes since we've been having this conversation. If it does, we'll try to reboot and get it going again. But it's crazy down here, man. So, and the winds aren't that the winds, it's just the normal winds associated with this type of activity. I mean, I've seen this a million times, of course, in my business, especially working in Miami. You don't see this as much in LA. LA is different. You have high winds, Santa Ana conditions, which are bad for the West because you have those fires, right? So when you get Santa Ana conditions, you got tons of wind. then you get wildfires, and that's what's going on out there now. Especially when you tie that to a heat wave, which is what is hitting the rest of the country. Hey, y'all, it is what it is. This is the new norm. Florida needs to be ready to help these folks. You know, you're gonna people need cars. I mean, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of cars have been totaled out because of rain damage. They've been, just caught in flash floods. They're gonna need rental cars. They're gonna have to, there's gonna have to be some price controls. You're gonna have to, stop people from gouging because people are gonna want to up the price, right? Supply and demand. People need places to live temporary. You're gonna need temporary housing because people have just been, anyone who's living in some of these places, you guys are gonna see in a second. We got some pretty cool videos lined up. I mean, just flood it out, bro. If you're on the first floor of a complex, like an apartment complex or a condo complex, just flood it out. Just flood it out. People driving, cars are floating down the street. Like, it's that bad with drivers in them. It's so far, there's only been 2 reported fatalities. One of the things that I would be concerned with is electrocutions. There's a lot going on. It's water rising. People got their lights on. You can see power strips like underwater still plugged in. Bro, this could be a problem, man. This could be a problem. We got Brother Pitney in the building. What's good? Did you see PVD's video about BlackRock buying Florida? It explains quite a bit about what's happening with insurance rates. I have not seen PVD's. That's what I thought you meant, PVD. I have not seen that. I'm going to have to check that out. The insurance business here in Florida especially has been in trouble since I got here. There's been 2 major hurricanes that hit since I've been here. There are people who are still recovering from last year's flooding, last year's hurricanes down south. And the 2 hurricanes that came through pretty much hit Central Florida. Miami got missed, which is a rarity. But the water, like this flooding thing happened last year. There are people who were just getting over the flooding from last year, and they have to deal with this flooding. And again, we're just weeks into the hurricane season. Brother Cody's like, you were just talking about the solar flares deal. I missed it. I missed that. Right. Wait, were you just talking about the solar flares? I was not talking about the solar flares, but I'm trying to find someone. And I know some people who are with JPL, some scientists. I want to talk about that as well, bro, because yo, man, it's crazy what's going on. And a lot of this stuff is just, that's just life in our solar system, right? But definitely want to talk about the solar flares, how that affects everyday living. It's a lot of stuff that we could talk about. Brother Dino's like 107 degrees in Arizona. Absolutely. It's 100+ degrees in the Midwest. So it's like 99, maybe getting real close to 100 in like New York in the Northeast. It's crazy right now. He's like, Brother Pigeon, like, you're fighting lightning strikes, copyright strikes, all kinds of strikes. Keep plugging away. I got to, bro. I'm gonna keep moving forward, bro. Appreciate that, man. Oh, Joe is in the building. What's good, fam? Always a pleasure to see you. In the water rake, bro. Like, in these, these cells, like these weather cells are moving through. They're pretty intense. And again, this is life in Central and South Florida. When I worked in Miami, I was there for 3 years. We would see this stuff. We would watch it form on the radar. We knew about what time of day it would happen. And we just sit there and watch the weather move in. And of course, you move the airplanes around the weather as much as you can until it all closes up and you can't move any airplanes. Right. I mean, you sit back and then, lightning strikes on the airport. You sit in the tower and just watch the lightning just tear the runways up. And then shout out to the crews who work, damage control at the airports. The airport authority goes out there. Airport operators go out there, airport operations, and they take their teams out there and they plug the holes so fast, man. They plug those holes up, and then we get the airplanes going again. Air traffic was a great career. Shout out to my brother Tim. We managed to get him into the FAA. Don DeMarco to brother Tim, who is now on his way to becoming an air traffic controller in the Federal Aviation Administration. He leaves next month. He has a lot of training ahead of him, a lot of challenges ahead of him, but he will do just fine. I have the utmost confidence in his brother's ability, right? And we're going to have him all trained up anyway. He's already picking out the facilities that he hopes to work at when he's done. They let you fill out a dream sheet, kind of like the military. I would love to go to Spain and Greece, and I would love to go to Germany. And then You get in the army, like, nope, you're going to Fort Bragg, you're going to war. That's it. When you get back from war, we're gonna send you to South Korea, and then when you get back from Korea, you're coming right back here to Fort Bragg. Yeah, so much for your dream list. But yeah, man, it's pretty intense down here. We're probably looking at. I know the forecast has rain over the next 24 to 26 hours. I think last time I checked. Going into next week, there are a few days it was supposed to be dry, but pretty much every day over the next 5 is going to be supposed to be like a little bit of rain, at least 30% chance here, there, and there, whatever. So let's get into this video, guys. Let's get into this video. We got a couple videos queued up, some local news correspondents down there in Miami, just kind of showing what's going on. And then we found a video from like a traveling type reporter kind of thing. I'm not quite sure what his deal is, but he has some really good footage and makes some really good points. We got that lined up. And then we're going to also look at NPR's coverage on what La Nina means for the Atlantic coastal portion of America. What does it mean? It's El Nino and then La Nina. So let's get into it. Let's check this out. This is shout out to News 10, ABC affiliate down there in Miami Dade area.
Joseph, thank you. And let's go right now to more flooding in Northeast Miami-Dade.
Local 10's Janine Stanwood joins us live from another flooded community. Janine.
This is the Aspen Lakes apartment complex. Check this out. Right over here in the middle, that is the lake. The surrounding areas is supposed to be grass. And right where we are, look at this. This is actually the back patio of this apartment. And I want to show you, and I'm going to try not to get water in here, but water has been coming inside of this unit for the last couple of days. That is the case with all of these first floor units. In fact, the cleanup is on. I want to go to video from just a short time ago. We can kind of give you an idea as to where we are. This is a neighborhood just north of Miami Gardens Drive. And neighbors tell us when the weather started getting bad on Wednesday, they started noticing that the water level was rising and rising. And over the last couple of days, all of this water started seeping in from the front and the back into so many of these first floor units. Some neighbors tell us they have stayed with relatives. Others shelled out money to go to hotels. And in the last couple of days now, they're starting to come back and they're starting to clean up. We spoke to 2 women who are in that cleanup process. Take a listen.
I mean, you guys see that? Completely inundated with water. So you're not getting away from lakes in Florida, right? You're just not, man. It's swamps and lakes everywhere. It's the same up here in Central Florida. It's the same way that it is down there in Southern Florida. You're looking at this property, bro. Does this look like a high-end property to you? Does this look like middle class or upper middle class? No. These are like regular folks. Do you think that they're going to get their deposits back from their, when they moved into these places? No, they're not going to get their deposits back. Right? The management company, if they can even get a hold of the management company, when the city comes in, is going to force these people out. You got to worry about all this water damage. You got to get in there and get behind the walls. You got to rip all that stuff out, man. You got to worry about mold. I mean, it's so much going on. Like, this water is contaminated. This water is contaminated. There's all sorts of stuff in that water. Right? Everything has been backed up. The sewage systems and all that's coming out, man. And people are just walking around in this. The city is definitely going to get involved and say, hey, we're going to have to shut these things down, maybe condemn them temporarily until these repairs can be made. These people are going to need some sort of shelter. What's going to happen? They're going to just go into the hotels. I'm pretty sure all the hotels are full. And those like motel type places, what do you think is going on with their first floor level? They're probably flooded too. So they're going to have to move further and further north or further inland. They still got to go to work. Their cars are flooded. You see how all this is, a huge problem. And you're not hearing much from DeSantis because he's probably trying to figure out what to do. He's probably just now, let's put together a team and let's figure this stuff out. Like, nah, bro, you should have been doing that. That should have been done a couple years ago when we got hit with the first hurricane. When he first took office, man, he should have been looking into that back then. We did a video, man. Go back about a year or so ago. We did maybe a year and a half ago. We did a video about that. And as you can see, The state government has done nothing. Let's continue.
The bedroom was full of water. The water reached to all the way up there. So
All that furniture
also
is gonna have
the
to be
closet
replaced.
was filled with the water. So I put the clothing on the bed.
The lake and our backyard, our patio, it's one. There is no lake. It's like we're living in a lake.
And that's really the sentiment among most of these people.
Look
The
at that water,
lake
guys.
And the yard and the patio, it is now all one. And they're all hoping so desperately that this water is going to start receding. Some apartments we've seen better than others. Some people just trying to get on with their day. But again, the cleanup is on. And if you look, I mean, there's debris all over right now. What used to be the lake in the middle now has connected with all of these floodwaters. Some people tell us that they've tried to reach out to the management company. The management company is overwhelmed. We have also called the management company and we're waiting to hear back. One common thing that I've heard among some of the people in this apartment complex is that some of them say they plan to move and they plan not to live on the first floor again, at least not here in South Florida. We're in Northeast Miami-Dade. I'm Janine Stanwood, Local 10.
They plan to move. We don't want to live on the first floor anymore, right? Everyone has that same idea. What's your credit score like? Where are you going to move to? How are you going to move? What kind of money do you have in reserve? The average American can't afford an unexpected expense of $1,000, right? Really $500. Everyone's pretty much living paycheck to paycheck. Where's that money going to come from? Especially like your money maker really is your car. That's going to get you to wherever it is you're working, to your different jobs and whatnot. Most of the time, the car is the hustle. What if your car has been destroyed because of water damage? How are you going to get to work? How are you going to get that bread? Everyone is looking for an apartment. So let's say your car is fine. Let's just say only thing messed up is your apartment, right? Okay. You're going to move to Palm Beach. You're going to drive all the way up there. You're going to drive 2 hours plus every day to go make your money. Now you got other problems, right? Insurance is out of control here. Auto, home, it's been crazy. Like insurance is just insane out here. I was talking to my cousin. He's like, yeah, man. He's like, my homeowner's insurance has gone up 80% over the past 3 or 4 years. I think it was 80%. He showed me. He's like, look, like Jesus. Automotive costs, automotive insurance, every 6 months it goes up. Every 6 months, people are in a position right. The only way they can afford their insurance if they get themselves $1,000 deductible. $1,000. Imagine that, $1,000 deductible. Your car is floating down the street, and you need $1,000, right? Or at least half of it. Your insurance company like, well, active guy, just give us $500. We'll cover the other $5. But you gotta come up with $500, and that's how you made your money, right? That's how you made your bread. So let's check out this other video that we found. Both of these videos are linked in the description below if you want to check them out later. This video really shows what the folks are going through down there in South Florida. It's a little bit longer. This is about 10 minutes or so, but it really shows you how folks are just caught up, man. So let's check this out.
I mean, it's not going to get any better. No. You know what I mean? It's just going to get worse. So I would rather you get
look at that
and get someplace higher and drier than sitting in here. I mean, you're sitting in feet of water,
In theory, if you're going to plunge into floodwater, electric cars should outperform their gas-guzzling counterparts. Internal combustion engines need air, and when the streets turn into rivers, that breath is choked off. In this flash flood emergency around Hollandale Beach in Broward County, you see dozens of stranded cars. But let's not kid ourselves. The drivers matter too, and some should rethink their choices.
Look at that.
What in the Broward County is going on?
Look at all that water, guys.
That's one way to avoid a flooded road, but you're in a tough.
Hey, like I said, these type of conditions are normal for Miami, for Florida, Central and South Florida. You just not used to seeing it as often. It just seems like this just happened last year. Like people were just getting over it last year. I'm used to driving around and seeing puddles, like you see the water pull up fast. He's like, I'm not gonna drive through that because you don't know how deep it is. I remember once I was driving around here in Tampa. It had been raining for a couple of days. I'm going down one of the major streets. I'm driving. I see this big puddle. I'm like, I just go through it. Mind you, I have an SUV. I'm driving. I hit that puddle, man. It was so much water. Oh, whoa! I'm like, yo, I screwed up here. Like it was. It made me nervous, bro. It was up to my bumper, if not a little above. And I'm thinking, I might have screwed up. If this water gets into the exhaust, man, I'm through.
Tesla.
And that wasn't even the worst Tesla driver I saw today.
Look at that, man. That car is submerged.
Bad idea. Oh, he's got a Tesla. He's fine. He's fine. He's fine. He's got a Tesla. I thought it was like a BMW or something. He's good. Oh, but he just
Look,
hit that
he's floating.
car.
Look, he just hit a car. Bam.
Oh, got too deep for it. All right. The good thing about a Tesla, you can operate in.
Look at that car behind him, guys. Like, look at that car over his shoulder to the left side of the screen, bro. He filmed this a couple days ago.
Deep water, deeper than a regular gas car. But clearly, the car is lifted. He's floating. It's just... That is wild. He just hit and ran in a flood.
Look at that car right there in the middle, bro. Like he hit and ran. Look at that car right there in the middle. Like the guy who's filming is going to say, yeah, that white car is more likely totaled anyway. But still, man, you should at least, you would think you want to stop. But the guy's probably thinking if I stop, I'm never going to get out of here. So he just kept going.
I mean, in fairness, it's not like that car probably.
Look at that, bro. Look at all those cars.
In fairness, that car is probably totaled. But you shouldn't just do hit and run.
Look at this dude's backyard, bro.
In just 24 hours, Hollywood and Hollandale Beach were hammered with an astonishing 17 inches of rain. That's more than double the usual rainfall for the entire month of June.
17 inches of rain in 2 hours. In 2 hours, bro. Brother Pitney, yeah, I was wondering about that, man. I'm like, I don't know, lithium. How is lithium supposed to hold up in water, bro? I mean, and the closer you get to the beach, you got this fresh water, the rainwater mixing in with salt water, bro. Like, I'm with you on that, man. I don't know. And wet ignitions, yeah, bro. Like Cody's like, oof. Hey, Cody, man, I saw you and Viking over on what's that, Cats podcast, bro. I was watching a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna reach out to her, man. I'm gonna see if I can't get her over here to get a quick interview, man. I think she's bubbly and fun. I'm thinking she might want to switch up her content a little bit, like what she covers. But I saw Glenn over there for a hot second. I was preparing for this, so I just noticed Glenn jump in and doing what Glenn does. But what's her name is Kat, right? Yeah, her right there. Yep. I saw you guys over there, bro. I also saw you on Glenn as well, man. I got your messages, bro. I'm trying to go back and watch that second half that you told me. I did miss that. When you came back again, it was on the panel. Looks like it was just you versus the panel, so I'm gonna check that out. But let's continue.
Again, in just a single day.
Look at that.
Mother Nature was clearly in a mood, and the streets transformed into rivers, a chaotic scene that's disrupted local lives again.
You just replaced everything.
Everything from last year. We just replaced everything. Everything from last year.
How does this compare to last year?
This is worse because it's just getting started.
Roughly, how much did that cost to redo and get the house livable again?
35, 45.
So you got to redo that again, or are you going to do it again?
Well, we got flood insurance this time, but we don't know how that works out. You know, companies don't want to pay out.
Yeah.
You hear what he said? Companies don't want to pay out. They don't. They can't afford to. So they're going to look for any way at all to not pay or not pay 100%. Like, so this dude's like, yeah, man, he had to pay what, 45,000 just to recover from the last flood, which was last year. Just recovers from that, get everything back the way it's supposed to be. All right, this time we're going to get flood insurance, gets flood insurance, and then bam. Bam. I wonder, because normally when you get that type of insurance, there's a grace period. Like you have to wait, 3 to 6 months, I think it is, before all of your, before everything kicks in. They're going to look at that. They're going to look at that. Like, how long has he had this policy? If you were late with your payment, that might have messed up your coverage or whatever. They might, they might reset the clock. They're going to look for any and every reason not to pay out. So, and this is why you need the government to step in to make sure that people are getting the help that they pay for, those who actually have insurance. But, we're going to see how that pans out. Look at his house, bro.
So you're going to risk it to try and.
Yeah.
Are you worried that you're going to get your car ruined though?
A little bit worried, but I got her car at the gas station where it's sick. Then we can transfer right there. We just got to get up out of here with the electricals and all this stuff. Look, it's not. You imagine that water there. Look at that flow that's coming in right there.
Yeah.
They had to take all of the food out of the cupboards, probably where they were down low, close to the water, and put everything on top of, as high as they can on top of shelving and whatnot. Look at how much water is in his home, right? It's not just dude. It's the whole neighborhood. It's probably the whole city. How much of the county is affected by this? Here's a hardworking man. He's got his family, right? He's doing everything right. Got his property. Look at what he's dealing with. And I guarantee you he's going to have to fight to get the insurance money. I guarantee it, bro. He's going to have to fight to get it. Yeah, it sucks, bro. Man, oh man, it sucks.
It's going to get worse.
Yeah, I mean, it's pouring. It's pouring out. It breaks my heart seeing her room like that too,
Yeah.
Look at all that furniture they're going to have to replace, bro.
Like 3 inches.
Yeah.
And then the back room right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, cut the lights off, bro. They got, look,
the bathroom, right?
in the baby's room, you see they had the track lighting up, which I have for my daughter, same color and everything. That's plugged in. You got water everywhere. You're not thinking like, man, you want to turn this stuff off, man. I would be really concerned with, people getting electrocuted because folks aren't thinking. And Cody, to like, why aren't they building on stilts? This would happen every 8 to 12 years. You would have something bad like this, like a big rainstorm or a real nasty hurricane to come through. It didn't happen like every season, but it's been happening annually, bro, yearly. Stuff like this is going on. It's crazy. Yeah, at least you would have clean feet if they were on stilts. And you look at this, bro. His entire home just flooded out. Luckily, he has family that's going to help him out. He can go stay with family. But how about those folks who don't have family like that, bro? They're going to have to pay to stay somewhere. And these people are going to be rushing to get vehicles. Everyone's probably trying to get SUVs. Right? I guarantee you we're going to hear stories of price gouging, man. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
Look at that, man.
Yeah, it's much deeper. A converted garage. Yeah.
And then we got my uncle that you just seen. His room is in the back. Disaster. Like,
man, this is so terrible, man. Okay. And forgive me, guys, if the signal gets messed up. Like, we're still dealing with the storm down here, so just bear with me if the signal is messed up. I apologize. But we know folks are having a hard time securing housing and trying to be able to afford something. This looks like a pretty nice house. I'm not that familiar with the cost of homes in Broward because I think these guys are in Broward County, which is north of Miami. I'm not sure what the average cost of a home there is. But we know the median cost of a home in America is $400,000, right? So Miami is highly sought after real estate. The real estate market was doing really good, driven by condo sales in places like Brickell, Wynwood, Edgewater, stuff like that. So let's say that this guy's in his house for about 400,000. He's in there. He has, extended family in there. They converted the garage into a bedroom, which is completely flooded, even higher in the garage. You can see him standing there now than the rest of the house. And he says he has another space where his uncle is living. But so everyone's in his home so they can afford it. And it just got flooded out. And they just fixed everything from the last flooding. They didn't have insurance, right? So what did he say? Like $40,000 he spent, $45,000 to fix all the damage from last time? All of the flooring got to come out, bro. They probably just put all that stuff down, man. You're going to have to, half of the walls, you're going to have to go down from the ground up. All of the wood and all that got to get replaced, right? It's going to dry rot, right? You're going to have mold and all that kind of stuff. This just breaks your heart, bro.
Probably 2 foot of wood.
How old is your daughter?
5.
5?
Yeah.
How are you? Are you okay? Yeah. Do you think this is fun? No. You seem pretty happy. I'm sure you like water.
I don't like water, only in big pools.
That's right.
That little girl is so cute.
My brothers, they stay right there at the shop by the train tracks.
Oh, okay. There's pretty deep water over there too, but nothing like this.
So you hear that part. He's like, yeah, my brother stays over by the train track. So, and normally you have families, they try to stay in the same neighborhoods, right? They stay close to each other. What if his brother's place was flooded out like that too? Or there's more rain coming. Since they filmed this, there's been more rain.
I'll come back and get you in a minute, babe. I can take you around. Yeah, just throw the stuff in the back. No.
The water is cold.
Go ahead,
Do you want me to open it for you?
Go, Mama, go.
It's a blazer.
Okay.
It's a blazer.
Very easy to understand why this is a flash flood emergency for a large portion of Broward County. This is Hallandale Beach, and you can see cars still trying to make it through and not able to at this point. It's just too deep. This is over the knee. This is thigh deep water. I'm a little over 6 feet tall, and cars have no hope, but they're still trying, even though there's so many examples. 1, 2, 3 cars right here stalled out. Another couple down there. A pickup truck or SUV is trying to make it through right now. Not only you're at high risk of likely totaling your car, you're making it worse when you're driving past these homes. This neighborhood is completely inundated. And the wake that these trucks are pushing water into these homes, several inches of water at times, it's just making it a lot worse for people who live here.
Cities should shut down locations like this and shut it down. Shouldn't have no cars customized because the main reason that we have water.
Damn, look at that, guys.
Trucks.
Look at that, guys. I mean, these vehicles, these big vehicles, they got to do what they got to do, but they're creating these large wakes, and these mini waves are just hitting these homes and just pushing the water into the house. You're sitting there trying to bail all the water out, and here comes a big wave, and all that water you managed to bail out comes right back in. I mean, bro, just from these video clips, man, from the news clip earlier and this clip right now, we've probably seen hundreds of cars that are totaled. Think about that. Total loss vehicles. Can't sell them again, although they will try. Carfax, guys. Make sure you check the Carfax. It's not funny, but bro, they will sell you one of these waterlogged vehicles, bro, if they can. Check the Carfax. Fly over America, middle of America. All these cars are going to wind up out there. Right? So the insurance industry is going to have to bite the bullet on this one. And this is just the beginning. Look at all that water, bro. This is just a rainstorm, man. No high winds, right? No tornadoes, no cyclones, none of that. Just rain. Broward, and Dade County dealing with this. And like he said, they should have streets shut down. They should have an emergency plan that's gonna, handle all this. But this is new to them, I believe. This to this degree, right? You're not gonna have enough law enforcement officials or city officials or state officials to put up the barricades and man the barricades and make sure that these streets are closed only to emergency vehicles. You're not gonna have the personnel for it. Even if they wanted to do it, they might even have a contingency plan that states this is what must happen, but they just can't do it. They still got to be out there and save people. Cops got to do the cop stuff, and fire department got to do the fire department thing. Paramedics got to do what they do. I mean, it's so crazy. Brother Dino's like, hurricane forecast points to a dangerous 2024 Atlantic season with La Nina. Yeah. And a persistently warm ocean teaming up to power fierce storms. Yeah, and we got an article we're going to look at a little bit of not La Nina, like what does it mean? This is from NPR. We're going to look at that next. And Brother Pitney is like, yeah, dudes that deal with salvage titles are rubbing their hands right now. Yes, they are, bro. Yes, they are. It's going to be a lot of salvage titles out there, but the automotive business is already jacked up. That's a whole nother conversation for another day.
And they're going at high speeds, and it's causing like a big wave to come in here. You see the restroom?
Look at that, man. Look at that.
Yeah. And then the bedroom.
All that water is contaminated, guys. All of it.
I don't think I need to show you inside the bedroom, so you already know. All we need is some floaties and a life vest, maybe.
Did you have time to even try to get some stuff lifted up, or was it just too late?
We were fighting with it for a while. So we were doing pretty good until the water levels got pretty higher. And then after that, it was out of control.
Like Sisyphus pushing a boulder up a hill, homeowners will do anything to try and stop
those sofas are destroyed. This man's this workout equipment is probably destroyed.
I help it, but no, I wasn't able to.
Look at all that water, guys.
All of these. I fill up all my containers of the water coming in to see if I could give it a break. All of those containers are full of water. Trying to give it.
To try and stop it.
Try to stop a little bit. Now there's something, but no, I had no chance.
All the appliances that are going to be waterlogged at the bottom, your washer and dryers. I got his washer and dryers back there.
Did you scoop the water? Like, did you use it like a bucket and scoop it in, or how did you? Yeah.
You need a pump to get all that out, man, like they have on the boats.
Containers to see if I could help it a little bit, but no.
This man is soaked. Look at his house. Damn.
Oh, wow.
See that floor, man? All that got to come up, bro. All that flooring has to come up. The bed, the furniture is destroyed. He's gonna need a new dresser. He's gonna need a new base to his bed. Like this little sofa over here, man. All that stuff is messed up, man. I hope that electric fan isn't plugged in. I hope all those appliances are unplugged, bro. I really do.
Bed frame is ruined. The tree stand is ruined. That's the second one. Last year was ruined as well. The dresser will be ruined. All that'll be waterlogged.
Last year, just went through this last year.
What do you do? Live in the tropics.
Yeah. He said this is about as deep as it's been.
This is worse than last year.
A nightmare. We get prepared, but still, never enough. Not much you can do.
Helpless at home against this relentless rain.
Man, look at that.
A nightmare driving out in it.
You have your keys, right?
Remember Caesar from the beginning of our story?
They started off this story, man. Dude was sitting in his car, and he's sitting in there. It's waist high water in his car. The car's on. The car's on. All the electric stuff is on. He's just sitting there. Poor guy doesn't know what to do. He probably doesn't really speak English that well. It's a very, very heavy Latino community down there. Right. So, and in this scene right here, he finally got out the car. He stumbled. He fell. His glasses fell off. He can't see anything without his glasses. And this guy's in the water trying to find his glasses.
I ran into him again down the street.
All right. So the guy who we first introduced you to, car got stalled out. He tripped and fell. His glasses are somewhere. This nice gentleman's trying to help him to find it. But I mean, you have a current. You have couple feet of water. It's like a needle in a haystack, and unfortunately he can't see, so we're trying to get him at least to the highway.
I mean, again, it's gonna be hits of money here and there and everywhere, right? Your the deposits on stuff. You're gonna have to pay money to dry stuff out, right? So you're gonna hit some money on that. He lost his glasses, so even if he doesn't have, like, even with decent insurance, he's still gonna wind up paying between $200 and $500 to get those glasses replaced. Like, yeah, you can go to Eyeglass World or something like that, or one of these places that have on-site facilities where you can, they'll check your eyes, get your prescription, and have those glasses made for you in the same day. But they're probably going to be backed up because I'm sure he's not the only one who lost their glasses. And he can't see without them, so he has to go. Hopefully, he has some backup glasses. I know I have glasses all over the place. I use these for reading. I keep them up here whenever I have to read or whatever. And then downstairs, I have my everyday, which are they called the bifocal or whatever. Half the glass is one and other half is this. I forget what you call it because I'm new to glasses. I've always had really good eyesight, but my old age, my eyesight is failing. So I have glasses, but my daughter can't. She's blind as a bat. So every year we're buying glasses. I'm always looking for the best deal, and I can get 2 for 1, but I'm still paying on average about $300. I'll get 2 pairs of glasses. They're good, but on average, I'm paying $300 for those glasses with my insurance, which, man, is crazy. These are the little expenses that are going to add up. What else was lost? You look at people's phones who had a phone or something in the car, some sort of computer or some sort of device that was in the car, and the car got flooded, right? You're going to have to buy yourself another computer, possibly another phone, right? Again, all this stuff adds up. How are you going to pay for this stuff? Credit. If you have it, you're going to be putting it on a credit card, which, is going to be charging you 20+%. This is way bigger than most people realize, in my opinion. I think folks aren't going to really see the damage from this until 3 to 6 months down the road. And by then the hurricanes will be here. Right? Once the hurricanes come through, man, it is a wrap. Now you got to deal with the high winds. You got to deal with the tornadoes and cyclones. You got to deal with the storm surges. So the flooding will be even more intense. I hope Ron DeSantis and his people are coming up with a plan. This is the absolute beginning of hurricane season.
Mother Nature shows us she has no limits, but in this chaos, we shouldn't forget our own.
I can see my hotel. I just can't get to it.
Not without a canoe.
I got another hotel.
My heart goes out to those people struggling down there in South Florida. My heart goes out to those people, man. Brother Pablo's in the building. What's good, fam? Like, are they at ocean level? Technically, I believe they're below. I believe that especially parts of Miami, like South Beach, is below sea level. To be honest with you, I believe they're technically below sea level, and this is the problem. This is the problem, man. Yeah, you definitely don't want to be left on a desert island with that guy, bro. Says DeSantis just cut $1 billion off the Florida budget to try to balance it. I mean, it's tough right now, man. Yeah, I can see people doing that. That's the whole thing of governing. It looks like here, just to give you guys a quick update, the weather has significantly changed. I can see at least 5 miles now visibility. Rain is light, very light rain right now. No wind. You see how fast that thing pushed through? That thing pushed through in like 30 minutes. But it dropped a lot of water. It dropped a lot of water out there, bro. This is definitely going to be a problem moving forward. You just hope that, the different mayors, the city councils, you hope that the state senate and the governor are going to work together to figure this out. Right? You just hope that that's what they're going to do. Because, bro, it's going to be crazy, man. It's going to be crazy. For those people who are out here in Florida, Central and South Florida, just look at this and, try to get prepared. I mean, it wouldn't be a bad idea to have your nice little go kit, nice little go bag. I have one. I have fresh water in there, medical supplies. I have a separate go bag with, ammo and weapons. right? I have, if you're living on the first floor, let's say you have a condo, townhouse, a regular home, you're on the first floor, start to, elevate stuff, come up with a plan, maybe go out, get yourself some sandbags, get you some sandbags and just in case, just have them standing by in case you need to throw them down to try to hold off Mother Nature. Most of that is futile anyway, but you want to do what you can. Kind of like what Cody was saying, figure out a way to put your stuff on stilts, bro. Like get you, figure out a way to get your sofas and your chairs and all your stuff on top of something. Especially if the forecast is calling for intense rain for, hours and hours. These are the things you might want to start thinking about. Go over your paperwork, make sure your insurance and everything is in order. That sort of stuff. I know there's people out there who are upside down in their cars, and those guys are probably out there trying to park their cars wherever it's going to get flooded. Like, oh, just parked there overnight. Don't know what happened. Totaled. Oh, guess I got to get another one because they were upside down anyway. And I wonder how that works. If you're upside down, are you still on the hook for that extra money, or it just gets totaled out? I guess it just becomes a total loss. There you go. Brother Penny saying South Beach is right at sea level. Yep. Like I was saying, I was like, yeah, it's real close, bro. Like I think there are parts that might technically be under sea level. So it's crazy down there. I try to be well prepared, bro. But my thing is, especially here in Florida with the hurricanes, I leave. I'm not staying for a hurricane, bro. I'll drive north. We got family in Georgia. We're from Ohio originally. I just get out of town. I'll come back. We can piece it together later. I just get out of town, bro. It said New York are going to spend approximately $52 billion to protect New York Harbor from storm surges. Yeah, it's going to take some time to get all that stuff in there with La Nina, man. They're going to get hit hard. And speaking of La Nina, they're going to get hard. Here we go. So this article is linked below if you want to go read this article on your own. But I'm just jumping to the part where it talks about La Nina conditions. La Nina conditions are especially conducive to Atlantic hurricanes. And this is NPR. This came out today. I think it came out today. Maybe 2 days. I think it was today. I got to go. It was either the 12th or the 14th. I can't remember which, but it was this month. NOAA has already predicted an 85% chance of above normal hurricane season. Rook sent me this information like almost a month ago, and he was spot on, which lasts from June through November. Last month, it forecast between 17 and 25 named storms, the largest number of storms ever predicted by the agency by this point in the season. There were 20 such storms in 2023. So right there, you see is more storms. The fourth highest year since 1950. Forecasters pointed to a number of factors, including near record warm ocean temperatures in the Atlantic, and the development of La Nina conditions in the Pacific. And this is what Brother Dino was talking about. La Nina historically enhances Atlantic hurricane activity by tamping down the vertical wind shear in the tropics. Strong wind shear, which happens when the wind conditions change rapidly, breaks apart developing storms. Think of it this way. La Nina usually means stronger hurricane activity in the Atlantic basin and suppressed hurricane activity in the central and eastern Pacific basins. El Nino achieves the opposite. Wow. So we're going right from El Nino into El Nina. Wow. The hurricane impacts of El Nino and its counterpart La Nina are like a seesaw between the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans, strengthening hurricane activity in one region while weakening it in another. Sorry, guys. Y'all know I can't read. According to a 2014 ENSO blog post. All right. So interestingly, the National Weather Service notes that some of the most destructive hurricanes to hit the U.S. in recent decades, like Katrina in 2005 and Andrew in 1992, occurred during La Nina. Wow. But in the neutral phase of the cycle. Now, I remember, bro, we all remember Katrina and Hurricane Andrew. I actually earned a couple medals. We were sent down to Hurricane Andrew for relief efforts when I was in the United States Army. One of the craziest missions I was ever sent on. But that's what we're looking at right now, man. This is what we're looking at. This is when we need government. This is when all the politics and all the BS should go out the window. This is when you have to take care of the folks from your state, from your city. This is when we got to come together as a community and work. We know it's coming. We know it's coming. We can just look at the rainstorms alone, and you look at the flooding alone, and look at the damage that it has caused at the very beginning of hurricane season. We know it's coming. Now, people are going to want to flip this and start talking about national politics and all this other kind of stuff. Man, fine, go ahead and do that. But down here in Florida, we should be thinking about how we're going to get through this hurricane season. We need to find out how much money that the insurance, companies have down here in Florida. What does it look like, right? Is there a plan to backstop these insurance companies who will surely run out of money? They will surely run out of money. I mean, we just looked at a couple videos. There had to be hundreds of cars that were more likely totaled that we could see in the video, right? Look at those homes. How many homes? Hundreds of thousands, maybe, probably definitely hundreds. I don't know about thousands, but certainly hundreds of homes with severe flood damage just from rainstorms. What's going to happen when the wind blows the roof off? Where are people supposed to go? We know Americans don't have savings like that. So how are they going to get this money? Right? Who's going to want to come fly to Florida and have a good time? This state is based on tourism. People's like, oh man, I saw this thing about La Nina, man. I don't want to go to Florida. I'm going to go somewhere else. And then you look at what's going on in the rest of America. I mean, it's crazy. The insurance industry here in Florida is going to need some help. It's going to need some help. And, I will say this about DeSantis, he does not have a problem going to the federal government when he needs to. The current administration is not going to give him a hard time. If the state of Florida needs money, the federal government will open up the coffers and help as best they can. FEMA's down here. We got a lot of stuff down here that can help these people. People are going to need places to live. People are going to need food. If you weren't home when the storm surge came in there or whatever, you flooded out. It could have flooded out most of your food. So, people are going to need something to eat. Their clothes and all that's all messed up. They might need some warm clothes and blankets. Like children are going to need stuff. You got kids walking around in this, contaminated water. If you cut yourself and you're walking around in this water, you can really get jacked up, y'all. You can really get jacked up fast. I mean, that's the kind of stuff in the military that you wanted to stay dry. I mean, just being in that water, man, your skin begins to get all wrinkly, and you can't stay in water like that forever, man. And like I said, the sewers are overrunning. There's plenty of dog poop out there that's floating around now. There's plenty of other, animal droppings floating around out there. There's plenty of dead animals floating around in that water. Man, this stuff is crazy, man. Your brother Dino's like the GOP all state this is nature. God is in charge. That's crazy with the GOP saying stuff like that, man. It is what it is. DeSantis will definitely will gladly take the help from the federal government, because that's what the federal government is there for. That's what that money, that FEMA money and all that stuff is there for. But man, my thing is, man, we are just getting started, guys. This is just the beginning. We'll definitely keep our eye on it. I just wanted to do a quick one to kind of throw this out there, man. If you are in, Southern Florida, Central Florida, hey guys, come up with a plan. Come up with a plan now. Like, the sun's out. We're here in Tampa. The sun's out now, and looks like it's completely stopped raining. So the sun's out. That means it's about to get real humid out there. It's gonna get real steamy. That's another thing too, man. People, they're gonna need AC, bro, fresh water, all that good stuff. This is gonna be crazy. And then those folks out west dealing with the wildfires, man, they got other issues out there. People stuff is burning down. They have insurance, right? So the insurance industry as a whole is about to just have some real issues, bro. So we got regional banks failing. You got this, commercial real estate thing. Businesses are in a lot of trouble because interest rates are so high, and they can't roll over this debt, and they're just walking away from skyscrapers and stuff like that. And then you got these fires. You got these fires out here, man. we're gonna need some real leadership moving forward. We'll see how it plays out. You know, this is an election year. We're coming, we're coming to the home stretch, man. Like, you know, November will be here in no time. We're gonna see how this plays out. Yeah, man. I just wanted to throw that out there, man. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will probably be back later on tonight, man. I want to come back and talk about some red pill stuff, man. That's easier to talk about, right? To me, it doesn't stress me out as bad as this stuff that we just talked about right here. So I'm going to come back and talk about some relationship stuff, bro. We're going to have some fun with that. I might even be back tonight. Brother Cody's been out there tearing it up, bro. I've been seeing brother Cody hitting up all the different YouTube channels, man, and rapping, man. So we might have to do a little bit of talk about that. I definitely want to talk about game and the understanding of today's sexual marketplace, man, is absolutely essential for people to understand game, both male and female game, both male and female nature. Definitely got to talk about that. So we'll probably come back tonight and talk about it. We'll see what other folks are talking about. So until then, I'm DL Saint. This is I Really Want to Know podcast. Man, I'm gonna holler at y'all later. Peace.
Nothing like I've ever seen. It's just a thing of beauty.
Darn, that's the end.